I'm Anson Aroz. I'm a sophomore catcher here at the University of Oregon, and I'm coming up on I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
On tap, great steaks, great staff. Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say Hayes sent you.
Turn it up. The number one sports podcast in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike are taking over the podcast scene in Vancouver.
Auburn, California, I believe, if my stats are correct.
Yes, that's correct.
What was childhood like for you growing up?
So I grew up in the same house my whole life. Parents are happily married. You know, I have one sibling, younger sister named Lila Aroz, and we grew up great friends. But growing up, you know, kind of typical childhood. Had great friends growing up. We played a lot of sports together. So it was just super active childhood, outside a lot, which I think kind of carried over to why almost everyone that I was friends with like ended up pretty athletic. We never didn't do stuff. So very active. My grandparents own a ranch in Auburn. So I grew up in the outdoors a lot, you know, around horses, cattle, all that. So yeah, that's, I mean, kind of the gist of it.
Yeah, I found a stat about the farm. I'm going to pull it out later. Well, it'll be on my trivia thing. I think about, okay, I'll shoot it now. Bull riding is in the family. Your uncle runs the the professional bull riding company.
Yes. Right? He was one of the founders of the PBR, yes.
Yeah, okay. I found that stat somewhere. Growing up, what was your main sport other than, say, baseball that you wanted to play or pursue?
So I started kind of, my first sport I ever played was soccer. Kind of built the general athleticism. Started playing baseball. And then kind of that age around, 10 or 11 is when everyone wants to start playing football. So jumped in there with everyone else. Picked up a basketball as well. So at one point I was playing all four sports. Soccer made its way out. Football didn't last too long. And then I played baseball and basketball in high school.
Okay. And when did you know you wanted to take it serious and make it a career?
It was about 8th grade or so, I'd say it really picked up. I got in contact with a great baseball mind and person, Adam Farb. I started working with him. I joined basically not necessarily an event, but something he puts together called The League. And he just really takes good talent in the area and tells them like, hey, like if you want to take it seriously, like this is what you got to do. And his help guided me a lot of the way and like really cemented that was something I wanted to do, along with just my parents' support and everything else. Just love the game.
Who's your biggest role model?
I'd have to say my parents, both of them. My dad is a big influence in my life. I grew up, he owns a bar in Auburn, and being a bartender, his hours are not, your typical 9 to 5. He works a lot later than everyone else. So I got to see him, going to work when we were getting ready for bed, and we'd wake up in the morning and he might be up, might still be sleeping. And so I saw him, working hard when I didn't see anyone else working. So that was a big thing in my life and influence, as well as my mom. Just with him working so much, she was around the house all the time, and she influenced basically everything that I am.
Somebody's got to take you to all your sports.
Yeah, right.
Who's your favorite sports hero?
Sports hero. It's a good one. There's a lot that has been going on, just in the past, my lifetime. I've seen a lot of really cool stuff happen. But personally, I'd probably just say like I'm a big fan of the Barry Bonds. I'm a big fan of his. Obviously, I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Sure, he cheated. You can make the argument, and I won't argue against you. But I also think he's one of the best hitters to ever play baseball, or the best. And so I can't not support that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that later on in the thing, what you thought on it with Aaron Judge and all that happening right now.
Yeah.
We don't have to. We'd rather keep it about you if you want.
Oh, I mean, why not talk about it? It's baseball. I think what Judge is doing is awesome. I think 62 is a absolute milestone, and it's very impressive. But I also think a single season record should stand regardless of the thought. You're not taking away the most home runs of all time. You shouldn't take away the single season either.
Okay. What made you like being the catcher?
I just kind of started picking it up, I guess. I played shortstop and pitched a lot when I was younger. And then as I got closer to high school, started catching a lot more and realized, that I was pretty decent at it, and that I just kind of enjoyed like how much action there is involved. Obviously, there's like the mental side of the game. You're working a relationship with a pitcher. You're maintaining a relationship with the umpire. You've got to be locked in every pitch. So there's basically everything about it that I really enjoy, as well as just the basic skill sets of catching, throwing, blocking. I enjoy all of it.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's the same position I played, because it was much like a goalie in like hockey.
Right. Yeah.
So I always like to play back catcher as well. The what was your other favorite position that you got to play other than catcher, say recently?
So the last time I played any position other than catching would have been high school, and I played a little bit of middle infield my senior year. I think 1 or 2 games. Really, I caught just about all the other ones. But yeah, I like playing up the middle a lot, whether it's middle infield or extended out to center field if I could. I'm not that fast anymore compared to the guys that we're playing with. So you can probably cross that one off the list. But, I like working up the middle. If I could, I'd love to play shortstop. But I mean, everyone's so dang good at it now that it'd be hard to keep up at multiple spots like that. But then again, why not give it a shot? And, if I were to be thrown there, I'd love to do it.
If you were having a dream dinner party, you can invite 3 famous people, dead or alive. Who do you want to bring to your party?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd have to think about that one.
For instance, then I go with Tupac,
Okay.
and then Seth Rogen to be my comedian,
Yeah.
and then for a little bit of eye candy, maybe Shakira.
Shakira's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the reasons for each of those. Got to have somebody funny. Seth Rogen's a great one for that. I like his comedy a lot. I'd probably have to stick with some athlete. Why not? Like a guy like Tom Brady, couldn't imagine eating dinner with that guy and hearing what he's got to say. But yeah, that's basically the two I can think of now that you mentioned the comedian. That's funny. That's a good question. I'll think about that more.
Yeah. I think it would be pretty funny to sit down and have dinner with Seth Rogen. That'd be for sure. Superbad's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. What's your jersey number, and do you have a nickname?
So I wear number 77. I've worn 77 since I was 9 years old. It's kind of become like a family thing. And back home, a lot of my friends would refer to me or like know me as that number. So it's not necessarily a nickname, but like some close families, close friends would call me Sevens just because of baseball and playing together. Growing up, all my dad's friends called me Cap Gun because they called him Pistol Pete. So I was a little pistol. Kind of stuck with that one here and there whenever if I'm writing something down that I need a nickname, that's usually the go-to, Cap Gun. But yeah, 77's a very important number in my life. Me and my dad got it tattooed on our arms in Roman numerals. And it's just, we love it.
And we always say this for like the football prospects and stuff. The teams, do they do like rookie initiation or anything where you have to do like a karaoke song in front of the team? And if they do, what song do you sing?
Okay. We personally do not. It's pretty dangerous to get too far into initiations anywhere now.
Yeah, nowadays.
Right. But no, we like to have fun. It's never forceful by any means, but there's always a good time to do some karaoke on a bus, long bus rides home. We're playing all the bus games, whether it's just locker room fun, anything like that. If I'm going karaoke, it'd probably be Rapper's Delight by Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That was a song my dad introduced me to when I was really young, and I learned the words very quickly.
Well, your dad sounds like he's got good music.
Yeah.
Good taste.
Owns a bar for over 25 years.
Yeah, right?
He hears it all.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. Do you have a favorite Gatorade color?
Probably Cool Blue.
Okay. So 2020, you perfect game national showcase. What did it feel like to be in that?
It was very cool. I'd never done a perfect game event up until then. I reached out to Adam Farb and said, "Hey, how can I get into this?" And just ended up there. Really, really blessed to be there. And then performed well. Went out there, good group of guys, a lot of big names, a lot of familiar faces as well, which was nice to have guys that I know there. And then just tried to relax as much as I could. Big stage, just can't stress. So it was a really cool experience to, be in that kind of venue with that type of talent, and be able to perform.
Do you collect anything?
There's not much. No, I don't. I haven't gotten too far into cards and whatnot. There's a few things. Yeah, there's a couple pieces of memorabilia where, like, if I see something really cool, I'll have to grab. But it's not to the extent of like I collect one thing. It's more just like what catches my eye and I think is something I need.
you were an animal, what would you be?
Oh, that's a good question too.
They're gonna get fun going on here.
Yeah. No, these are things that make you think a little bit. I like the idea of flying and being like something along the line of a bird. So like a red tail hawk, I think would be cool. You could go like a bald eagle, you can go all the way to that, but I think that's a little too far. So I'd go like a hawk.
Okay. I always go with a dolphin because I look like a dolphin because I got no hair and a nose.
Yeah, that's funny. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
The back to 2022, you were injured for the season. It limited you. How are you looking to bounce back?
So I medically redshirted last spring, right before week number 1 against USD. I had been battling arm issues all through the fall, beginning of spring, and I was trying to push through it. And finally, they shut me down right before that weekend and said no throwing for 12 weeks because I had stress fractures in my elbow. It took 3 MRIs to figure that out, but eventually we found them basically, and that was the source of the pain. So I shut down for the majority of the season and was ramping up basically to prepare to play summer ball, where I was planning to play in Eastern Tennessee with the Johnson City Doughboys in the Appalachian League. And I get out there on a Monday, go to catch a bullpen, and tore my meniscus the first day I was in summer ball. So played 1 game on the torn meniscus before I knew it was torn. And then flew home, got the surgery done, and now, as of yesterday, I'm 16 weeks post-operation.
Holy, is it going good?
It's going well. Yes,
Good.
so I'm cleared to start squatting, back all the way down to max depth soon, and working my way back into catching. But I've been hitting well this fall. It's been not necessarily, obviously, I don't want to say it was good for me, but in a way it was, one of those blessings in disguise that, you learn so much from different experiences. And I like to hope that it gives me an edge that, not a lot of other people have dealt with back-to-back injuries before. So just hoping to make the most of it.
For sure. And I'm sure you had other offers and stuff, but what made you choose Oregon? It's kind of the one chance in your life you get to choose to go to a team.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a new idea, being like that we got to make a choice, like you said. And me and my family had decided to take it as slow as possible, and really enjoyed the process. It's one of those things that not a lot of people do, and you get to only do once, really. So it really picked up right after my sophomore year, started getting some phone calls, started getting some offers, and narrowed my choices down and decided that I wanted to take some official visits, and took my first visit to Oregon, where I had the time, like, it was amazing. Saw a football game, saw all the cool stuff and had great conversations with the right people. And by the time I got home, I was telling my parents, like, man, I don't know if I need to go on any other visits. Like, that was really cool. And sure enough, later that week, called Coach Martyr and committed right away.
Yeah, it's a great school. We all love doing all the football players on the team. We've interviewed a few. I mean, even one we'll mention later. So we made your Ducks debut February 19th, 2022. And what was those feelings going through your mind then? And was there any butterflies?
Yeah, it was really cool. Again, it was right after they told me basically that was, I guess, right before they had shut me down that weekend. So I had known that I wasn't catching because my arm was in pretty bad pain. But they brought me along to hit, and threw me in for a pinch hit later in a game. And it was just, obviously a sudden rush of like all the excitement, this is finally real, all that, along with the nervousness of, your first college at bat. And it took me it definitely took a first pitch to be like, okay, now like this is just playing baseball.
Yeah,
It took a second for me to set in, and the bat didn't go the way I wanted, ended up striking out. But Definitely a very cool experience that I'm extremely excited to get back to.
Are you a chew guy or a Spitz guy?
I do not chew. I love sunflower seeds. But even more than that, bubble gum. Being out last year, I watched, over 55 games and sat on the bench with 2 to 3 pieces of bubble gum in my mouth all 9 innings.
And what's your go-to Spitz flavor?
Probably cracked pepper. That was another one that just
Those are the good ones.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah, that's for sure. A switch hitter. I also was a switch hitter growing up. Baseball. Which side do you prefer?
Naturally, I hit right-handed up until I was about 13, and started picking up the left-handed swing. And by now, I like to say that I'm equally as comfortable from each side. Some days the right-handed swing feels better. Some days the left-handed swing feels better. So, it's just trying to get the most out of both.
Okay. You got any hidden talents besides that?
I'd like to say I do, but I've grown up just kind of doing a lot of stuff. There's nothing that I've really been like necessarily a hidden talent for, I wouldn't say. But there's a lot of stuff that I like to do that I'd like to say I'm good at. But nothing where it's just like
no juggling. Juggling.
Well, like one of those things like
bull riding.
I can juggle, I can swing a rope, I can fish well, I can play a little golf, all those things, but nothing where it's just like I'm really good at this.
Okay. Okay. Did you know one of our past guests, Spencer Webb?
Not as well as I wish I did. So being from a similar area, he was a Sacramento guy, went to Christian Brothers. I have some friends. My dad is a Christian Brothers alumni. I have friends that went to Christian Brothers and we're like, close to being teammates of his, or we're in high school at the same time. When I committed, one of my better friends, Brian Garrett, immediately started talking to me about the guy, how, you're going to be like when you get to school, you got to meet this guy, such a awesome dude, great dude. All the while he's playing awesome football, one of the top tight ends in the country.
Yeah, he was.
So when I got here, he was one of those guys that I just really always was happy to see walking around. I never got to talk to him one-on-one more so than just like say what's up walking by. We all share one athletic training room. So I saw him getting, his hamstrings rubbed out or anything that he's, playing football always banged up a little bit. But I got to talk to him once or twice in there, but never got to, really meet the guy, and kind of regret that one. Wish I got to know him more.
Yeah, that's a shitty situation what happened there. But yeah, great guy. When we had him on the show, we had actually all 3 tight ends on together.
Very cool. Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that one. That's gotta be
good. Okay, we're gonna hit you with some fun questions here.
Sounds good.
Okay. Favorite sports franchise? Doesn't have to be baseball.
Doesn't have to be baseball. Ooh. Sports. I'd have to stick baseball and just go Giants.
Okay.
Bay Area loyal.
Go-to breakfast.
Go-to breakfast. I'm a big traditional, just bacon, eggs, and pancakes. Big fan.
Okay. Your favorite Halloween costume?
I've actually worn the same banana costume for the last 6 years and probably will continue doing so.
Might as well.
Yeah,
keep wearing it out, right?
Right.
Do you have a favorite Disney princess?
Favorite Disney princess? Does Moana count? Yeah, Moana counts.
Sure it does.
Yeah.
Sure it does. Favorite actor or actress?
Favorite actor, actress would be Will Ferrell.
Okay. Would you rather go to the deep sea or outer space?
Outer space.
Okay. Spring, summer, fall, or winter?
Love summer, but I think I'm gonna have to go spring.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
I've recently started drinking coffee a lot more, and I like it a lot.
Okay. If you had to eat pancakes or waffles for the rest of your life, where would you want to go? Or I mean, what would it be?
I'd have to go pancakes.
Okay, got stuck reading the next question. If you were in a time machine, what era would you want to go to?
Think I'd have to go to the 70s. You know, I was hear so many good things about that time. Wish I was around to live it.
Yeah, that's a good one. We don't really hear much of that one. Early bird or a night owl?
Definitely early bird, especially with the schedule that we've got going now.
That's good. I'm an early bird as well.
Yeah.
The Friends or Seinfeld?
Friends,
Okay. Comedy or drama movies?
comedy, all the time.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
I think I'm gonna have to go back to the animal question and say that I'd like to fly.
Okay. I always wanted to be I'd love to read the mind of the girl that I was on a date with before she got up to leave.
Yeah, mind reading would be way too powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I wouldn't be able to be single. If you were a flavor, what flavor would you be?
That's a good question. Probably, I don't know. I don't know. Not
I
too
always
sweet, but yeah,
I always go with mint because I'm mint.
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's it. You know what a Canadian tuxedo is?
I've heard the term. I do not know what it
It's
means.
denim on denim, so it's like
Right.
denim jeans,
There you
denim
go.
jacket.
I knew I'd heard it before.
Yeah, that's for sure. Halloween or 4th of July?
Halloween is my birthday, so I'm gonna go Halloween.
Oh, that's sweet. I
Yeah.
love Halloween. So back to a couple of serious ones here. What do you look for in a good coach?
Look for a good coach. Definitely a few words come to mind right away. Transparency, accountability, and just, all the right intentions, obviously. Probably wouldn't be coaching if he didn't have the right intentions. So you can check that one off the list. But, transparency is huge. You get what you get. He's not, trying to play mind games. He's just very straightforward. We're very lucky to have a coaching staff that is very straightforward, and they let you know what they're thinking. They're very smart. And accountability is a big one that we've been focusing on a lot this fall, of just, holding each other to the highest standard possible. How you do anything is how you do everything. And I think a coach is where that starts.
That's for sure. How important is what people post on social media?
Could you repeat that again?
How important is the stuff that people promote and post on social media?
It's definitely getting more and more important. I'm not a huge social media, presence, especially in today's college athlete world. There's definitely some guys that are taking advantage of it and doing really well. And it seems like the more they post, the better they do. And as long as they're posting the right stuff, it can't hurt them. So definitely there's two sides to it. You can post a lot and it can be bad and it can all go downhill from there, or, you can really get a lot out of it.
That's for sure. One of our great football people we've interviewed, they told us that they don't post anything that their grandma wouldn't like.
Yeah. I mean, that's the typical rule of thumb for what they're telling us to do. Post a lot, but you got to be careful.
Yeah, that's for sure. What are your goals for the next 5 years?
The goals for the next 5 years, I could go down, all the big things you want to accomplish. We want to win a national championship. I'd love to be an All-American, and I'd love to be a, top 2 round draft pick. And I'd basically, if those are the goals, I've got to figure out a day-to-day basis to make that happen.
Would you know any other catchers probably that are like top ones in the country? Like I interviewed a guy named Carter Jensen from
Right. Yeah. So I think we went to the PBR Super 60 together, actually, with Carter Jensen. Either that or PG National, which might have been what it was. Northern California has had a lot of talent the past few years in the catching world. We had Daniel Susac and Tyler Soderstrom. Soderstrom was a 2020 draft pick for the A's, and Daniel Susac went to Arizona that same year, played for 2 years, and just got drafted by the A's this last year, which is funny because they were the NorCal competition, and now they're both playing for the same organization. And both of them are doing well. Another NorCal guy that I can think of would be Malcolm Moore, who's going to be a freshman at Stanford now. Just finished a great high school year, and I'm excited to compete with him. It's going to be a fun battle in the Pac-12 this year, and I haven't seen him play in a long time, but I'm sure he's doing well.
That's good. I want to thank you for giving me the time to interview you and get stuff. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for having me on and this opportunity to kind of talk about stuff. You guys running a good show here. I like the questions you ask and had a good time.